I communicate up front. Before I send anything, I make sure that we are in agreement. And this is my number. And if you don't want to pay that number, then hey, holler at me when you got it, or maybe we don't need to do business. But now I'm not as just thirsty to be like get a placement or to just to say I work with somebody and put it on my resume. If they're not going to pay me what I'm worth. And so now I know as far as now we're not doing no business if you're not trying to pay me what I'm worth. And now I can stand on it. So you just got to stand on business when you are a business, because this is a business. It's a business first, you know what I mean? Because we're all in the part of making money, no matter if you in it or not. You still want to make money so you can live and take care of the things you want to take care of. And so once I realized that I got kids and other things to take care of, I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all pay me or we gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So now, like I said, it comes back to confidence and believing in yourself. Now I know that I'm not gonna take nothing less than what I deserve.
Period. Thank you so much for answering my question, Mr. Rothstein. Be going to send it right over to Mr. Double R, and I'll be right back after that, hopefully. Thank you.
Yeah, my question was, do you partner with like other engineers on like the beats that you make or no? And like, how does that
Um,
work?
yeah, if I mean I have done some collaborations with other producers. Like I you know what I mean, I've done quite a few collaborations with other producers, and all we do is 50-50 split. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we both like add certain things to the record. So I have not done more than like one producer because I think it kind of gets kind of the percentages start to be less and less with the more producers that you add, because nowadays I'm seeing certain tracks that got six producers on it. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck is that like? And then the beat don't even be that complex for me to feel like it needs six people on the beat. You see what I'm saying? So um but it comes down to communication, and I tell, if I'm working with another artist or engineer, or I mean another producer or engineer, I communicate and I say, hey man, well this is what we're gonna do. Once we do our split sheet and say, hey, you get this percentage, I get this percentage, and then we can go ahead and get that part out the way. So, yeah, it's just all about communication when you're dealing with other producer and engineers that you work with.
So are you just gonna stay in the production side of the industry of music, or are you gonna venture off and do like other things in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually got a TV show that's gonna be, well, it's gonna be on an app. It's a video countdown show. I do hosting and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting into more like I'm actually getting into some acting. I'm actually gonna get into some acting as well. So I actually was supposed to be shooting something. I'm in Atlanta right now. Supposed to be shooting something. So yeah, I'm venturing out to other parts of entertainment outside of just producing. And that people tell me I got the personality for it and everything like that. So hosting, doing my own networking events, just doing anything in entertainment for the most part, is what I'm planning on doing for the near future. But my main thing is production first. Like I make beats almost every day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I kind of want to be known for. But I'm definitely trying to get bags in other areas for sure.
Do you make up tempo beats like EDM or no?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I know I can. But I actually I'm dancing electronica records, but I haven't like gotten into the strictly EDM or techno kind of vibes. That's not. I can't be in a club full of that. Like I'm just being honest. Like I just can't. That's just
No.
not my forte. But I definitely respect all the producers that's in it, because I know it's you got to put some work in. Like I was actually asked to do a K-pop record, and then I started listening to K-pop, and I'm like, yo, this is like they got a lot of like changes and switches and different things that happen in that. So what I mean, when it's other genres like that, I'm interested. But if I feel like it's gonna be a little bit too much or outside of my spec, I just kind of stick with my specialties.
Got it.
But I wouldn't be against doing it though. If they trying to pay, I would definitely be listening to EDM and trying to figure that and how to figure that out. So yeah, for
Nah, I'm
sure.
a programmer, so I listen to a lot of like up tempo beats, right? So then I was just thinking like, and also a lot of engineers do the same thing, right? Like they create playlists, right? So I was just thinking like, oh, maybe that could be like another lane to kind of generate funds or like even get exposure, right, for the beats that you create.
Nah, for sure. Nah, that's. I mean, it's crazy because I've saw like a lot of remixers, but I DJ also. So a lot of people don't know I DJ. And that has helped my production a lot as well. Is just being able to mix and blend tracks and do things like I'm actually gonna be doing some remixes this year. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people on TikTok doing remixes, and I got some ideas on doing some remixes. So be on the lookout for that this year.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, John.
Peace, peace, y'all. Welcome to Talk Your Shit podcast, hosted by Mr. Rocky and the team of Talk Your Shit podcast. With that being said, this evening we are interviewing Mr. Rothstein Beats. If you would like to ask a question, simply unmute your mic and go ahead and ask the question because the stage is always open for your questions. With that being said, Mr. Rothstein Beats, are you ready?
Hello. I'm ready.
Period. So I didn't hear you talk a lot about work life balance. Can you give us like, an insight into how that looks for you? Because you seem like a really busy person. And sometimes that can get in the way of a lot of things just being super busy. How do you make it work for you and your family? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's super important to me because I host a room on here as well. I consult with artists and help them with publishing and different things like that. So for me, it's all about scheduling. You know what I mean? Like taking the time out, having a calendar, letting people know when you're available, when you're not available. I've done a lot of interviews as well, so just trying to balance everything is staying on schedule, and you know what I mean, and making time for what's important to you. And there's certain times like the weekends is usually when I'm like with the kids and doing different things like that. So I do most of my work throughout the week, and so on the weekends, you know what I mean. I'm watching football. I'm you know what I mean. I'm being I'm doing other things outside of just doing music all day and being in the studio and also not being in the studio late night. That's changed a lot for me. Like when I was early younger, I would be in the studio 2, 3, 4 in the morning and then try to wake up and try to do different things. Now I make sure I get my sleep and you know what I mean. Now I will do a late session, but I try not to do late sessions and that way I can get rest because you know what I'm saying, if you wear yourself down, you ain't gonna be no good. This is a marathon, not a race. So you just got to know health is wealth. You got to make sure you exercise, make sure you do those things to take care of your mental health because this thing is more just as much mental as far as keeping your head in the game. It's gonna be times like I said, you feel like nobody is reaching out to you, nobody's hitting your line, and then there's gonna be times your line is going crazy and everybody needs something from you and everybody gonna be hitting you up. So you got to make sure you be able to balance both of those of having being busy and then times when you're not so busy and then that's the times that you just try to spend time with people that you need to spend time with.
Period. Thank you so much. Health is your wealth. People usually realize their health is their wealth once it's too late. Period. So that was great. They wait till they get old enough to make a change when the change is too late to be made.
Hello.
Now, can
Fact.
you recall a pivotal moment for yourself when you realized that your work was gaining industry wide recognition? And I know that's important to a lot of people in the industry. I want to hear about your experience. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I could definitely. This was early in my career. I don't know if y'all know the singing group 702. But when I had them in the studio, we was working on because they were supposed to make a comeback album, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But hearing them tell me my beats are just as good as Pharrell beats. So I'm like, y'all capping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, y'all here capping. There's no way you songs like I Still Love You and a Star and all them other fire records y'all got with Pharrell. And they was like, no, Ralph, like you really, you know what I'm saying? Like your sound is up there with him. And she's like, no, you gotta understand. She's like, we was in the session and we listened to like 100 beats and then we finally found these certain type of beats. So she's like, no, just because you're hearing people's beats, um like the best beats, she's like, you don't get to hear the other beats that they got going on. So when I heard that, it changed my whole perspective of like, wow, y'all are industry, y'all been in the industry for a long time and y'all have heard a lot of records and producers, dealt with a lot of producers, and for me to get that same type of love from them and cooking up records, that was like, okay, I think I might have something, you know what I'm saying? And so that was probably the one booster that put the battery in my back to say, man, I am pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I do got something here. So that was like, early in my career, early 2000s that I got that type of love. So after that it was go mode.
I definitely love that answer. And thank you so much for answering my questions. I definitely want to talk about something that may be a little complicated. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. It's your choice. But I definitely want to ask you. It's a master interview. I want to ask you the next question. Are you ready?
I don't know. You got me nervous right now. But yeah, I'm all right. Let's do it.
Good, good. Good. Okay, so have you ever faced rejection from an artist or label, and how did you turn that into your motivation? Because you seem like a really motivated person, a person that's driven by authenticity and ambition. So let's talk about that experience. If you have it, let's talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. I can give y'all a perfect example. I was working with Trina, and the management was super excited about the record we was doing, and she was like, Trina loves the record, this, that, and the other. And then I didn't hear nothing, so I'm like, damn, what's going on? Like they were emailing me, they were going back and forth. I sent everything I need to send. And so then I'm just like, yo, what's going on? Like, what's up? And so I don't know if y'all remember, she was dating French Montana at the time, and they was like, no, French, wanted to do something different with her, and this, and so I was like, what? I'm like I'm super excited. I'm working with Trina, who I'm a fan of, and this, that, and the other, and to hear that, like, we got all the way to the finish line almost, and then it gets scrapped. It was definitely like it was definitely like I mean, like it bothered me, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like looking forward to hearing my stuff on, Trina's album and you know what I mean, and different things like that. So it was just like disappointing that, you get hyped up, you know what I mean, for you to feel like something's gonna happen and I got a little nothing I could something else I can add on my resume that I work with Trina and this, that, and the other. And then, to have it not make the album and stuff like that. I think for any producer who's been through that, that's probably like the gut wrenching thing that you go through is that thinking you have a placement, think you got to get some money and different things, and then it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And then what I mean, and then like I didn't work with her any more after that, but I mean I still got to connect and different things. But it just if we run across or if it happens again later on, I'll definitely be open with working with her. But that was probably one of the most disappointing moments is like having her management and everybody just excited about us doing this record, and then it doesn't come out. You know what I'm saying? Or I didn't even get to hear what she did on the record either. So you know what I'm saying? And so that was probably a part. I was just like, man, this is never gonna happen for you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like it was so close, and then you know what I mean, it just did not happen. And that has happened with other artists, but that one was my like really first like intro of the industry of understanding that um things can change in a day or two. You know what I mean? Like you're really not in control. So after that, I just if I get the placement, great. If not, I'm gonna just keep working and keep cooking. So it just gave me a different outlook to look at it.
See, and I love your answers, and I was like, I can't wait to hear his answer for this one. It was very inspirational, and it just brought you down to that human level. You get what I'm saying? The human level, like everybody goes through an experience that doesn't taste good in the mouth, but what you did was let us know how. You know what? I took it as a grain of salt, and we still are. She's still in my network, right? You didn't flip out. You didn't say nothing outrageous. So shout out to you, even though it may not work out the way you wanted to, you still got that connection. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure something bigger came after that, which you was able to like, you know what? This is my time. This was the time that was meant for me, possibly. I don't know, but I definitely
Hello.
know that I got another question for you. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I am.
Let's go. Let's go, Mr. Rothstein Beats. Now, what is the biggest misconception about breaking into the production world that you would like to clear up right now? Let's talk about it.
Um, Man, let's see. That's a great question. I would say the biggest. Can you repeat the question one more time? I'm sorry.
The
I just want to make
biggest
sure.
misconception about breaking into the production world that you would like to clear up.
Um, I would say that if you think that you can just like reach out to certain people, you got to understand that it's layers to certain people. So if you're a producer and you're trying to reach out to whatever your favorite artist is and you want to work with them and this that, and the other, you got to understand that like the bigger the artist, the more layers that you got to go through. So it's not when you see certain producers working with certain artists, you got to know that they have took years sometime to get into that room is never a overnight thing. Like a lot of times people think things are overnight, like they just happen like, oh, I just started making beats today and now I'm on Beyonce's album. Now there has been some people that have like not paid their dues and they just kind of cut the line and went right directly to the artist. But that's what I feel like a lot of people got to realize is that if you don't have a relationship with somebody who's connected to them and close to them, is really I ain't gonna say it's impossible, but it's so many producers, artists, musicians, songwriters, people that are trying to work with this person. So you know what I'm saying. So it's like you gotta wait in line sometimes. You ever been in the DMV? You gotta wait in the back of the goddamn line in the DMV. That's literally what it is. Is you gotta wait for your time and wait for your number to get called. So it's a patience game. So if you don't have patience and you just trying to hurry up and get paid or work with Jay-Z or whoever it is, it don't work like that. You gotta know that there's levels to it and there's gatekeeping, and you gotta show and prove and you gotta pay your dues if you really trying to like have some type of big time success. So it's not easy as people try to make it seem.
Period. Thank you so much, Mr. Rothstein Beats, for answering my more complicated questions. I want to pass it back to the stage to see if anyone else has any questions for you. But I definitely want to tell you thank you so much for being such a great sport and being so authentic. Thank you.
Man, thank you guys. This is definitely starting off my year right with this interview. So definitely this has been a great time and man, we cooking.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Welcome to Talk Your Shit podcast, hosted by Mr. Rocky and the team of Talk Your Shit podcast. With that being said, welcome to the Mr. Rothstein Beats interview. If you have a question, you don't have to wait. Simply unmute your mic and go ahead and ask the question. The floor is always open. With that being said, back to you, Miss Mother. Let's go.
I have a question.
Yes. Oh,
Oh, go
okay.
ahead.
No, no, no,
Sorry.
no. Go ahead, Big Dog. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Big Zon, not the little one. I have a question. Nice to meet you.
Hello. You as well. I just like that intro. The big one, not the little one. Hello.
Yeah, it's Big
Okay.
Zon, not the little one. Um, my question is because I'm an artist myself. I'm a rapper, and I feel like the best records come from when you're having fun. So, what's the record that you had the most fun on creating?
Hey, that's definitely me, man. I love to have great energy, great vibes. I would say this record called 50% Human with Pat Poose. I think that was the best one because it was like an authentic relationship that I had. Like I had did one beat before for him, and so you know what I mean, and he was just excited to work with me again. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and he's one of my favorite artists, like you know, lyricists that I looked up and respected. So to be in a session with an artist that's just excited to work with you, the same way you're excited to work with them, I think that what mean like made it a dope thing is like just having a genuine connection with the artist and y'all both respect each other's craft. So I think that was probably like the funnest, like the one I had like the most fun on doing.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're still having fun in the studio because a lot of times we can forget that we're doing a job, but then also it feels like hard work and we're not having fun with it no more. So I appreciate that for you.
Yeah, it's a fact because people want to make money, and sometimes that can get in cause friction in the studio because everybody's knowing it's costing money to be there, and everybody want to make sure they're trying to do the best they can. So, yeah, that definitely can happen. Is that friction or it gets too serious in there? But for me, I like to bust jokes, so I mean, I'm always gonna keep the session lighthearted. And even if we got to have an uncomfortable conversation, or I got to tell you something that you probably might not like, I'm definitely gonna have a great approach to you. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna talk to you and say it in a way that you can understand me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just want the best out of you. You know what I'm saying? Getting the best product out of the artist. And sometimes you got to push the artist out of their comfort zone. And I learned that by going through different sessions and having those moments where I was uncomfortable and I didn't say anything, but now I'm gonna say something. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say, hey, nah, I didn't like that take. And you could probably argue with me like, nah, that was the best take ever. I'm like, no, as the producer, I'm telling you, I feel like you could do it better. And that's those are the type of things that I just kind of do now. Is just speak my mind and trying to make the best record possible.
Yo, yo.
It's great that you put it that way because I tell people all the time, like me being a creative person, because I'm a Virgo. So I'm very bossy when it comes to my own project. So if I feel like it's not the best of my abilities and I feel like I could work at it again, like because at first I used to let people tell me, like, oh no, it's okay. Like they just brushing through it. It's because, they got the artists, they not worried about me, but this is my project that I'm putting in. So I have to make sure it's, up to my standards. So I
So
could
you was
definitely
born in
relate on you, and
'74?
that's good. Even though we're in two different spectrums, you're a producer, I'm an artist. We still like have the same, like mind frame when it comes to our creativity.
That's a fact.
Okay.
So look,
So, what's up,
nah, go
boss?
ahead.
You got any questions for him, for Mr. Rossi?
Nah, it's good. Go ahead. I could wait.
No, 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 no. Go ahead. That's exactly what I was asking.
Nah, do your
If
thing.
anybody else had any questions to ask. No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Rothstein. I'll probably ask you like one or two. Um, How do you define success as a producer? Is it the accolades, impact, or something else?
That's a great question. For me personally, I like accolades are great. You know what I'm saying? To be respected by your peers and to be recognized by your peers is great. But I'm more so in the impact. I think having an impact on the next generation or the impact on the younger producers and them respecting what you do. I think that's more important to me is just like what I'm saying, like me adding to the culture, me adding to the music industry with my production. I think that's to me is more important and longer lasting. Now of course if you win a Grammy that's something, but if you got like, love and respect from your peers and other artists that came before you and everybody's, showing you love. I think that's kind of more important to me. Is that I'm doing it on a level that people all across the world can recognize and respect. And not everybody gets accolades for their contribution. You know what I'm saying? Some people have had a great contribution and never got no type of recognition. So you know what I'm saying, if you look for those type of things, then that's one thing. But for me, of course, I would like to have them, and I'm not gonna turn them down the accolades. But for me, I want my name to be looked at as one of those producers that did a thing and made some great music.
I love that. I love that explanation. Okay, so outside of music, what are some passions or hobbies that keep you inspired?
Oh man, outside of music, I would say I do like film. Like I'm actually, what I mean, working on writing a script, and my goal is to put a movie out by next year. So film editing is kind of like producing for me. Like shooting something and then editing it and then adding music behind it and different things like that. So that's another one of my passions, is that I plan on doing having my own film company one day, where we producing films, and then I'm doing the music for it as well. And my goal, which they always say, like, you can't really tell people in the industry when you're quitting music or quit producing and stuff like that. But my goal is, like, by the time I'm in my 60s, I just want to do movie scores only. Like I want to do like Martin Scorsese, whatever his name, Martin. Forgot a guy named, I think it's Scorsese. But people like that who have did the music behind Godfather and different things like that. Like I want to get into that. I want to get into like doing commercials and theme songs for TV shows. So that's like my next, like when I'm done, like kind of like being in the industry, but they say you never really done with the industry. But that's my goal, is in my later part, just to produce those type of produce that type of music.
Dope, dope. So you said that um you went to into film, right? The film industry. So my next question with that would be, and even though you said that later in the future you want to start your own film producing company, but for the meantime, like if you was to get a gig or start a gig, would you do it through Tubi, Netflix? What platforms or apps would you use? Or would you even go broader, like into Hollywood and start off like in Hollywood and things like that?
Nah, I mean, I'm one of them people that I feel like you gotta crawl before you walk. You know what I'm saying? So I would probably start just starting out, is what I mean, because I respect people crafts. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was a painter, like I probably wouldn't want to go into Paris and have my painting hung up there. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I got to start like at a certain level and then work my way up. So it would be the same thing if I did movies. I'll probably start like Tubi and Netflix and stuff like that, to start out. And then once I learn more and be a part of it more and feel more confident in it, and doing it, then I would be more so looking to Hollywood. But I'm not one of those people that just want instant success or instant fame, because I understand the power of working hard and starting from the bottom, pause, and working your way up. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people just try to take the elevators, instead of taking the steps. So the steps is going to make you be able to have more lasting power, because you're going to have more adversity, different things you're going to go through. If everything gets handed to you, the first time you have some adversity, you're going to break down, you're going to fall apart, you know what I'm saying, you might quit or whatever. But if you're used to working hard and you're used to starting one place and knowing that if you just keep continuing working, you can get to another place, then I think that's more important than just instant success.
I love that. I really do love that response. Um, Let me see, Miss Empress, do you wanna? take the floor again, or Big Zai, you got any more questions you would like to ask? If not, I guess we could wrap it up. Rocky,
Um, I would say, Ruff, thanks for stopping by. Salute to you and your stuff. I just hit you up in the back chat, in the messages. Just sent you my Instagram and my stuff. Let's tap in, and just a lot of other people actually I know that's looking for like beats and stuff like that. That's in
Yeah, for sure.
true.
No, definitely, and I appreciate you, my guy, because like I said, I didn't check my request on here, and I saw you had asked me like a little minute ago, man. But again, I appreciate y'all still having me on the platform, and I just want to ask y'all, how did y'all come across, or how did you or whoever come across my page? 'Cause I was just curious about that.
Oh, that was me. I was in a room and I seen your little thing and sent you as a producer. And like my platform is like to reach out for people that's trying to get into like music, filming, so they can get inspired and get an aspiration.
Nah, that's love, man. That's love. Again, I appreciate y'all. This has been a dope, one of my dopest interviews. Like the questions, Empress, Mother, Big, y'all had some great questions for me. I had to think. So, like I said, I'm glad I ain't smoked before I did this interview. Because I figured I want to make sure I had some some good responses for
Well,
you.
that make
But
one of us because I'm high as fuck.
I know, look, man. Listen, I've probably been talking for 30 minutes. I get high, I start talking a lot. So I was
No, I had to put myself on mute because I'm over
Oh, there
here.
I go.
Hmm.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Rothstein. Thank you so much, Mr. Rocky, Ms. Mother, everybody that participated. It was definitely a pleasure. I love this interview. It was full of authenticity and intentionality, and you was just being yourself. So it's nothing like an interview like that. So thank you.
Oh man, thank you guys, and for sure, reach out to me. Let's network. You know what I mean? Let's work together. You know what I mean? Because it takes everybody, man. It takes a team of people to, believe in each other, and once we do that, we can do whatever we need to do and take over wherever we need to take over. So if I can help out in any way, definitely reach out to me, and I'll definitely be in touch.
yes, this was definitely a dope interview. Thank you, Mr. Rothstein, for coming out again and showing love and being here. Period. Like we don't know what your schedule is like, what you got going on in real life, but you ended up making it here tonight with us. So we respect that, we honor that, and we love that. Thank you.
Oh man, thank you guys, and yeah, I definitely set this time aside for to be here, and I want to make sure I'm like I said, all I can do is be me, so I don't know how to be nothing else. So I'm glad that you guys were able to come here, ask the questions, and hopefully you got something from the interview. And again, I just definitely appreciate y'all and the invite.
Thank you. I definitely followed you.
Thank you.
I
Thank
learned a
you.
lot. Yeah, it was a lot of wisdom here, and definitely thank you for allowing yourself to be open for people to receive you. That's a big part of interviews as well. Sometimes people be so closed off that people really don't get nothing from an interview, but it was a lot to take home from this one. So thank you.
Hello.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Stay safe.
Good night.
Later.
Good night. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Rocky CEO, Rocco, RK. Thank you, Rothstein, Grammy nominated producer, and we out. Blessings.